not going to sit on this cool little chair.
You're too tall,
Too cool, too big.
You might fall over being a stoner.
Coolest guy around
Pastor
town.
Todd sat on it.
Yeah.
I think you can sit on it.
Shut up, dude. What?
Since Pastor Todd sat on it, I don't think you're too big to sit on.
He's the coolest guy around the town.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
to be honest with you, it was just a really wild weekend.
Yeah.
It was really, I think one word that would describe it would be like explosion.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say shinging or something.
No, and
Don't say that.
that's implied.
Don't say it.
Shinging.
And to be honest with you, my heart was going into this thing. I want to see people equipped. I want to see people activated, and that was really the biggest testimony for me. And I'm not saying like it was like all because of John that all this stuff happened by any means. But I know that there's something significant that happened when we did the activation. There's something,
Yeah.
God released something.
Yeah.
Even if not everybody gave words of knowledge.
Tell
There
them
was,
how it ended. How like
Yeah.
last night ended.
yeah, there was, it was just amazing. I'm gonna tell them a bit.
Well,
You can
okay, I
sit
tell
in the
that,
chair.
and then tell them. I'll tell them. You just tell them.
Okay. Well, at the activation, I just preached, did a little teaching on words of knowledge, and prayed. I called out some words. People stood up, and Sarah called out some words. I made a mistake. I was supposed to pray for those people, and then have them sit down, and then have the next person give words of knowledge. But we just prayed for Sarah and I's group, and I would say probably only one person. And then Julia and David gave words of knowledge, and people stood up and all this stuff to receive healing. And there was probably only about 40 people, maybe 40, 50 people in that place, if that. And I want to say close to 100% received healing in their body, if not some improvement, at least 80%. And so, I said several times, I said, if you received a healing in your body just now, and there was hands all over the room. And so it was awesome. Daniel had a good time during my session. He was dreaming with Jesus. I'm just kidding. I'm messing around. I'm giving
Don't
Daniel
worry.
a hard time.
He dreams whenever I talk.
Yes. Daniel, I love you, man. Man of God.
Get more sleep.
I know, right?
And yeah, he needs more nourishment.
He's resting in the Lord, Dad.
And so one thing, I think it's safe to say that at least every person that went on the trip saw at least one person get healed. And I saw people who said, John, I never thought I could do that, but I received an impartation. I'm walking in words of knowledge. So much so, just the testimonies of other people walking in it are a testimony to me. Just what the Lord's doing. And John Needham put a deal on Facebook a couple days ago, yesterday, about he was in Walgreens or Kroger with his mom, and he walked by a guy, and he all of a sudden got knee pain in his right knee. And the guy, he asked the guy, hey, do you have pain in your right knee? And the guy said, yeah, I just had surgery. He prayed for the guy, and Jesus healed him.
He had surgery for years, and it's been hurting ever since.
Yeah, years of pain, and Jesus healed him right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've had several. I saw Julianne Krause give a word about nightmares. A girl came up and the Lord touched her.
Yeah.
I saw.
She was like laying people out left and
Yeah,
right. Man.
I saw Julianne going nuts.
Alright,
Oh
so you have
my
to
God.
watch out.
That was
girl
so
gets
cool.
going.
It was
I was
amazing.
like, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I saw Sarah give spot on words of knowledge. People get touched. Julia and David, the same thing. Lily, Jeff, everybody was giving. If they weren't saying it over a microphone, they were telling it to somebody that had the microphone. And God was doing awesome stuff. And I think the biggest testimony for me is just seeing that look in people's eyes when they discover that they can do the stuff and they can walk in their divine destiny. That to me right there is like a huge testimony of just the goodness of God. And you never know. I'm not going to preach or anything, but like I don't know who's going to be touched in the future by John Needham's life. But I know it's because the Lord used me in that instance. I'm not saying that to put the spotlight on myself. It's a testimony to me. Now, just like every person that's saved now is a testimony of the Apostle Paul's ministry. We're living epistles, and I felt like the Lord. It was a dream for me that was really birthed. You see, and not only that, we just saw incredible miracles, man. We saw metal disappearing from people's bodies the first night. I was kind of bummed because after one of the meetings, I was like, man, we should have called up people who need their teeth restored to get gold teeth and stuff like that. Because it was the right kind of atmosphere for that. And it was glorious. And the Lord is really healing a lot of back pain. I don't know why. Back pain's actually connected to anger sometimes, like intense anger or unforgiveness. But there was one night I got to call it a word of knowledge for back pain. Like 6 people came up.
Yeah.
On the last night, and then words of knowledge were just flowing. And one of the coolest things also was, everybody was walking in honor. There was nothing like competition, fighting for the microphone. If anything, people were saying like, "I'm done talking."
Yeah, we were a team.
I know it was a team effort. It was a team sport, and there wasn't a spotlight on just one person. Everybody was doing the miracles. Everybody was doing the word of knowledge. And for me to get to impart that's my dream. My dream's not just to have attention and say, "Wow, that guy walks in the gifts," but it's actually to raise people up, to see them touched, and to see them move in the same authority and anointing that God's given me. And I'm not saying, like I said, please understand my heart's not saying that in arrogance. I truly, that's my heart, is to see people go above me. I didn't see healings like John Needham saw until months until months after I started praying for the sick. And that to me it just shows the Lord released an impartation where people were able to pick up, where they started where I left off. I'm not done yet. I'm still climbing. Don't get me wrong. But where they started at my current place of breakthrough, that they didn't have to start at the very beginning praying for toothaches. They're immediately healing people who have had years of affliction, and Jesus is healing them. And that for me is, my heart is so full. Just listening to any testimony you tell today, I'm going to add it to mine because my heart's full with that. You know what I mean? So cool,
Awesome.
Yeah. Along with that, the cool thing was at the very end of the last session. It was cool seeing their own people going around, and that was probably the most important. That is the most important thing. Is that their own people were going around at the end.
They were operating.
And they, David laid his hands on one guy when he was being the mad scientist laughing, and then that guy started, he had been dealing with depression, and then he just started, the joy hit him, and he started laying hands on people, and then they were getting filled with joy. It turned out.
He was laughing for
It was
like
insane.
an hour.
And also, if you, they added, some of them became Facebook friends. I became Facebook friends with them, and they said this past weekend, like yesterday, it still is going on there.
Yeah.
Now they're all like laying hands on people, and like they have little kids like laying hands on people.
Yeah.
So it's still continuing. What we left there, it's still going
And
on.
we were able to give them materials to sustain it
Yeah.
as well. We didn't go there and just blow up. We gave
They
them
were saying-
culture.
That's not what Revival Generation is.
They were saying like
We
this is
want
the
them
new
to do
normal.
it.
They're like, this is our new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, what else? There was, you have another one? Oh, we're
Daniel.
gonna let Daniel go now.
Okay, that's
Daniel,
fine.
do it.
And David, do you have one or two?
Everybody can go. Yo.
Yeah.